One person was arrested during a city council meeting in Ashland following criticism of a city policy.
Plus, one local jail is aiming to tackle the Oregon's opioid crisis, how House Bill 4002 is making a noticeable difference.
And this morning, we are waking up with some showers, but they should move their way out by into the afternoon. I'll have more details on your Thursday for you coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on May 22nd. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damian Alvarado.
And I'm Carlos Murrieta, and we're going to turn back over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Thursday. And I know we're so close to Friday, so close, but are we going to be seeing some sunshine? I know you said we're going to be seeing some showers, but...
Yes, well, right now we got partly cloudy skies out across the region. We are dealing with a little bit of showers, but they're not hugely impactful. Maybe over east side, we're going to see them a little bit longer for us this morning. But overall, we'll be dry by the time we're into the afternoon, starting off a little bit more mild for us this morning compared to yesterday. So if you're out the door this morning, maybe just a very light layer because it is into the 50s for us into the Rogue Valley. But those temperatures will climb. We're going to be a few degrees cooler than yesterday, right on par for normal for us this time of year. Dry with much more sunshine into the second part of our day. But let's check in with where we're seeing some of those showers this morning. We are seeing some isolated showers areas over to our west side. Again, they'll diminish out through our morning. Likely by the time we're late into the morning and the afternoon, you won't be dealing with anything. And we're seeing some of those into Lake County this morning as well. But your temperatures for your highs will be into 74 today for Medford, Grants Pass 72, Klamath Falls 69 to Yreka 74, and along the coast will be into the 60s. And as we're tracking into the next couple of days, tomorrow we're going to have the possibility for some isolated showers and maybe even a thunderstorm areas over east side, but the rest of the region will be staying drier for us. And as we're into the weekend, we're staying dry and those temperatures are going to climb. We'll be into the 80s for your Saturday and Sunday into the Rogue Valley. We also have the potential for some showers into your Monday, and a lot of us have our eyes on this weekend for that long holiday weekend. So I'll have a detail on what you can expect for your activities coming up in our next forecast.
Confrontation between a former Ashland city councilor and police chief ended in an arrest at Tuesday night's city council meeting. As the dispute followed sharp criticism of proposed policing changes, former councilor Eric Navakis and police chief Ty O'Mara confronted each other in the foyer outside the chamber. The confrontation followed comments from Navakis, who raised concerns about a proposal to ban repeat offenders from Ashland's enhanced law enforcement areas without a trial, relying solely on police testimony. The confrontation escalated outside the council chambers, where audio captured raised voices and accusations of racism.
In the space of the last few minutes, we have had 2 acts of violence that have disrupted the work of this council. One of them was verbal, one of them was physical.
Police say Navakis shoved Chief O'Meara, who then grabbed Navakis' coat. Officers escorted Navakis into the police station where he was arrested on charges of harassment and disorderly conduct. Navakis has a history of legal run-ins, including offenses ranging from trespassing, disorderly conduct, and interfering with law enforcement, spanning in several counties throughout Oregon.
In an update, the spring fire in Siskiyou County is now 100% contained and all evacuation warnings have been lifted. CAL FIRE says crews are reinforcing containment lines today and monitoring fire activity. As firefighters continue their suppression efforts, police are still seeking a person of interest that was seen near Mount Shasta City Park.
That person of interest is described as a white adult male with a slender build and a scruffy beard. He has short, dark, curly hair and was seen wearing gray sweatpants without a shirt or shoes. NewsWatch 12 did speak with Mount Shasta police, who said this is not a suspect, as the cause of the fire is still under investigation as of this morning.
As we move into fire season, CAL FIRE is sharing their new AI chatbot, which delivers both wildfire updates and fire prevention tips. The chatbot works for incidents within CAL FIRE's jurisdiction that are greater than 10 acres. When asked about the spring fire, it shared its activity status, containment, and start date. It also listed the agencies involved in the fire's response and provided a link to the spring fire's incident page.
Oregon Congressman Cliff Benz held a town hall updating voters in Jackson, Josephine, and Douglas counties on his work in Washington. From border security to tax cuts, Pence laid out his priorities and how they align with President Trump. He highlighted key points about the reconciliation bill, including a tax cut he says will benefit many Americans.
This means an extra $5,000 in Americans' pocket, with a double-digit percent decrease in their tax bills. Americans earning between $30,000 and $80,000 will pay around 15% less in taxes. The bill includes no tax on tips and no tax on overtime.
Pence says the plan delivers on key campaign promises and reflects priorities from his time in Congress. He also fielded questions on border security, energy, and federal spending.
House Bill 4002 repealed many parts of Measure 110, but there is one stipulation in the bill, which is availability of drug treatment programs in county jails. The MOUD program, which stands for Medications for Opioid Use Disorder, provides medication to treat drug addiction in jail. Paired with peer support, counseling, and assessments for inmates, much of the funding for the program comes from House Bill 4002, which is part of a $10 million statewide initiative to start and expand MOUD programs in the state.
An opportunity when they're in jail to help them stabilize, to help them work with case management, to get their life back under control so that when they leave jail and re-enter the community, they have a huge step up.
For the program, nearly 60% of those in jail had a substance use disorder, most untreated. In 2021, only 12% of all incarcerated people in American jails were offered MOUD, and in 2022, over 1,200 Oregonians died from overdoses, with estimates that those leaving jails were 129 times more likely to die of overdose within 2 weeks of their release.
New this morning, North Medford High School is asking for the community's help in funding a temporary athletic facility. The indoor training facility will serve as a temporary accommodation for weightlifting and PE, while the main gymnasium is being rebuilt. Since the gym collapsed back in February, more than 700 students have been left without a locker room and space to participate in athletic events.
The Klamath National Forest is asking you to be cautious of various road closures across the Happy Camp and Oak Knoll Ranger District. These dangerous road conditions include road slips, rock slides, down trees, and washouts. Forest Service crews are working to mark roads that are closed and ask that you remain cautious throughout your visit. For a full list of the roads closed in Klamath National Forest, you can head on over to kdrv.com.
Seasonal boat inspection stations are now open and watercrafts will be required to stop. The Oregon State Marine Board says this is part of their efforts to protect lakes, rivers, and streams from invasive species like golden mussels. While invasive freshwater mussels have not been found in our waterways, they have been detected in both Idaho and California.
And there are 5 inspection stations statewide, with additional crews setting up temporary sites at boat ramps. In our region, there are locations in Ashland, Brookings, and Klamath Falls. All watercrafts must stop, including canoes, kayaks, and paddle boards. The Marine Board asks that you clean, drain, and dry your watercraft to prevent the spread of invasive species. And if you're looking to get outside and enjoy some of this warm weather, Medford City splash pads are opening for the season today. And there are 6 splash pad locations across Medford, including at Hawthorne Park, Pine Park, and Oregon Hills Park. Splash pads will operate between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. daily. The city notes that crews are still working on the splash pad systems, so if you notice any issues, you can report them to Medford Parks and Recreation.
Happening now, it's Volcano Awareness Week in recognition of the 45th anniversary of the Mount St. Helens eruption. The Mount St. Helens eruption was one of the most destructive volcanic events in the U.S., claiming the lives of 57 people, billions of dollars in damage, and ashfall impacting areas hundreds of miles away. Right now, this is a time where communities that are in areas vulnerable to volcano hazards assess plans and prepare for the next event.
Looking ahead to Memorial Day, the Eagle Point National Cemetery will be honoring fallen service members with their annual Memorial Day ceremony. On Monday at 11 a.m., community members are invited to honor fallen service members as well as their families. Event organizers say parking inside the cemetery fills up fast, but those who can't get a spot inside the cemetery can catch a golf cart to be dropped off at the gates.
And as we get closer to Memorial Weekend, a reminder that parts of the Rogue River and Grants Pass will be closed for the Boatneck races. Closures will be in place from Baker Park to 6th Street Bridge and from Baker Park to Robertson Bridge. The Josephine County Sheriff's Marine Patrol says spectators must be off the water an hour before the race and stay off until it ends. Only law enforcement, rescue personnel, and authorized race officials can be on the water during these closures.
And speaking of Boatneck and its first day starting, it's shaping out to be a nice day for us in Grants Pass. We do have the chance for a shower this morning, but we'll be drying out by the afternoon, and those temperatures are going to be feeling pretty nice for us. Even over the next couple of days while into our holiday weekend, we're staying on the drier side. But for today, around the rest of the region, we do have the possibility for an isolated shower into southern Oregon this morning. We'll be dry into the afternoon with more sunshine. It'll be slightly cooler for those highs, but we'll talk all about what you can expect today and for your weekend coming up in your next forecast.